to Monorant, the only boys rewatch podcast obsessed with Homelander's aim, Ashley's fashion, and the Deep's bodily functions. I'm one of your hosts and jack of all trades, Mono, and with me is my co-host and master of none, Kira.
Kablam!
We're back. Now, after nearly 2 years of waiting, the boys has finally returned, and we're back after a few months of not talking the boys.
3 months.
Well, not talking the boys on mic anyway. We pretty much can't go a day without talking the boys, in fairness.
Yeah.
But we're going to be doing things a little bit differently this time around because we haven't seen any further in the show for a change.
No, it's weird. We're going into this season blind.
Yeah, so we have literally only watched the first episode, and we're going to watch the second episode after we finish recording today and then record about that.
Yeah, and also predictions, things like that, because they've moved quite dramatically away from the comic book storylines.
Yeah.
In some aspects of it, you can't really predict what's going to happen.
We're going to fucking try anyway, though.
Oh, yeah, we are.
We will still be talking about the comics, though, so possible spoilers for the comics, but no spoilers for the show anymore.
No, because we can't. Because we don't know.
Yeah, because we don't. Because today we are talking episode 1 of the long-awaited season 3, and that is Payback. It was written by Craig Rosenberg, and Ellie Monaghan was the executive script editor, both of whom have done a couple episodes of the show in the previous 2 seasons,
yep.
And director Phil Segricia, who has done probably, I think he's directed more episodes than anybody else at this point of the show.
Yeah. And even though it was the same director, it still had a slightly different visual style, which was nice.
Yeah,
it got a little bit art housey there at points.
Yeah, I meant to look up the director of photography for this episode actually, but I completely forgot.
Especially Butcher's entrance.
Butcher's entrance. Just
the
appearing the
very Blues Brothers nun coming through the doorway on a hoverboard.
Well, we've seen him just appear randomly in bathrooms before with Mesmer.
That's how George Michael got arrested.
No, I think the interaction between George Michael and the police officer was slightly different between the one in Billy Butcher and Mesmer.
Yes.
Not that different between Ashley and
Director
Burke, though.
Oh, he didn't wash his hands.
No.
Oh,
no, he did not wash his hands. He didn't. He still had the hair in his hand.
Gross.
Yeah, no, it was pretty gross and it was pretty rotten, but it's good to be talking to boys again,
yes,
and especially new boys. Diabolical was one thing, but we're back with the main show, and I could not be fucking happier.
Yeah.
Like, the first episode was brilliant.
Yeah, the panic that happened in this house at 1:05 this morning.
Yeah, when it
because the episodes wouldn't upload.
I was like, well, fucking restart it, reload the app. No, restart it again. No, and then, yeah, eventually, I say eventually, it was like 6 minutes past 1.
Yeah.
We got into it and watched it about 4 times.
Yeah.
And then got 3 hours sleep and we're like, right, wake up, record. Well, watch it one more time and then record.
Yeah.
But before we go into the specifics and start...
Summary?
Yeah, we'll go for the usual summary. A year has passed in the world of the boys, and the more things change, the more they stay the same. Vought are riding high, having survived both the public revelation of V and Stormfront's Nazi past, while the boys are still the underdog despite Hughie's promotion and government backing. But with Starlight being made co-captain of the Seven as Homelander spirals further, and Hughie's new boss not being all she's cracked up to be, there's still a hell of a lot more change to come. And yeah, I expect a hell of a lot more change and upset to come.
No, well, episode 1 is basically, where are they now?
Yeah, it's a bit of a catch-up, because a year has passed, but they do the catch-up pretty well. There's very little of anybody being like, oh, here's what I did for the last year.
No, it's like, this is where they are now. It's kind of very similar to their initial introductions in season 1.
Season 2 started with a bit of a catch-up as well.
Yeah.
In terms of, you had the lads being in the Haitian King's basement and kind of...
Yeah, the little kind of, as Hughie's walking through and you've got MM stitching up a guy and...
Yeah, and in this, the opening, well, not the opening scene, because that was the dawn of the Seven, movie bit, but the red carpet scene functions in the same way as the opening scenes of season 2 did, in that we find out that's where we find out that it has been a year, because one of the people asked A-Train, what have you been doing for the last year?
Yeah.
You see Homelander having to apologise for Stormfront. You see Starlight's a big deal, and Hughie and her are together. You see the FBSA have been working with Vought because Vic's there with Stan.
Yeah.
So in that scene alone, and then when they're in the bathroom, you get Billy showing up and finding out a little bit of what's been going on with them. So it's all done very quickly and very efficiently.
Yeah, well, it's in like what the title card's like 15 minutes in.
Well, yeah, but
so you get kind of like where everybody is in that first 15 minutes.
Oh, easily, yeah, easily.
And then it kind of leads on from there to like, this is where they are, this is what's been going on, and now here's this bomb, and this bomb.
Yeah, but that red carpet scene just catches you up in the kind of the world really quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, the bit before that where we actually get to see finished scenes from the Burke cut of the Dawn of the Seven.
Oh my god, I love it. I love the fact that Charlize Theron is better lit, it's better quality. She's always got wind. No matter what way she faces, she has wind.
Yeah.
The suit looks more like a Marvel or like an actual like feature film suit. Like it's not a practical one like the Vought ones are. The Vought ones look like they're made and they're practical and they have functionality. This looks like the fucking ridiculous ones that you get that don't have pockets or visible seams or anything like that.
Her suit looks like a suit for a film rather than a suit for everyday use. Yeah. Like the rest of the suits in the world. I just love the
fact that she's like amazingly well lit compared to him, and even the footage quality is different. For them, it's that kind of like real gritty DC, and she's in kind of the sparkly Marvel style, which was very much the whole Justice League thing, was you could almost see where Whedon had done reshoots.
Yeah, which bits were Whedon's and which bits were Snyder's. Yeah, and then the bit outside with Burke when he's being...
release the Burke cut.
All you guys went crazy with that hashtag release the Burke cut.
Well, if that's the Burke cut, it probably should have stayed. Unreleased. It's now fucking Snyder.
No, I like the line about how they, after the whole Stormfront is a Nazi thing, we weren't sure if we were going to shelve it all together or just drop it on Vought Plus.
Oh, like they did with Black Widow.
Like they did with Black Widow, yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure that's what that was supposed to be.
I also love the fact that he's wearing a Tyrell Corp Blade Runner t-shirt.
Yeah, there's a whole ton of Easter eggs in this, and that's one of the few non-boys comics related Easter eggs in that it's a Blade Runner reference.
Yeah, no, very nice, I like it.
But yeah, you copped that straight away.
I was like, hey! Well, in fairness, we went to see Blade Runner with a live orchestra like 2 weeks ago.
This is true, so it's fresh in the memory. But yeah, the transition from the film to the red carpet reveal where you see them all sitting in the cinema.
I like that it was this kind of blurry... Because as Homelander's watching it and he fades out.
Yeah, you get the high-pitched ring.
To then this media frenzy and bulbs going off and shouting and left and right and smile and people are shouting your name and it just... Oh, it looks so tedious.
Oh God, yeah, it does.
I kind of get why Dominique McGilligan doesn't do red carpets because I don't blame her. That looks, even that like 2-3 minutes of it just looked so unbearable, especially the bit where Homelander just turns and fucks off.
He was just standing there like oh
shit, yeah, fuck, game face on.
Yeah, and yeah, nobody, like, they're all calling for Maeve when Maeve and Homelander are together. They're like, Maeve to your right, Maeve to your left. And then he's getting a few pics taken and Starlight comes in with Hughie and everybody wants Starlight's photo.
She's also back in her old outfit, which is nice to see. It's just
like an updated version.
It's just the Vought version of it. Yeah. Like, so it's better quality materials. You can see it's like, you know, a little bit fancier than her old one.
Yeah, but Starlight is hot shit right now.
Yes. And Vought are jumping all over that and pushing that because it's like she's the good Christian girl who took down, well, we don't know if it's too...
Her involvement with the boys is public knowledge, yeah.
But they're like, obviously Homelander referenced it in the speech at the end of season 2.
Saying she was falsely accused.
You know, and that her and Maeve were working together to take down, to expose Stormfront. So they know that they're involved in some way. Like, they've been pushing, you know, here's Maeve, who's a brave, strong, proud lesbian woman fighting against the Nazi message. And then you've got Starlight,
as a wholesome Christian,
fighting against this like supremacist.
And we saw in the 7-on-7 segments on YouTube, and we were saying in our 7-on-7 episode that they very much seem to be pushing. Look at how inclusive Vought are. We've changed Vought Land's Brave Maeve Battle Arena to Brave Maeve's Inclusive Kingdom. Yeah, and they very much
Pride Burgers.
Yeah, they very much seem to be pushing Starlight into the forefront as well because of that wholesome image. And Stan references it specifically later in the episode when he says she's got a 96 approval rating.
And nobody's ever had a 96.
And that she's got that wholesome image that Vought desperately need right now.
People want, this is the hero you want your children emulating.
Yeah. But sticking with the Seven side of things, after the Dawn of the Seven premiere, we see the Deep for the first time.
Oh, Kevin!
Yeah, back.
Kevin's back.
Oh, actually,
shilling a book.
Before we move on to that, the bit when A-Train is being interviewed and asked where he's been, and Ashley comes over and is like, "Oh, no questions that aren't about the film, please. Here's Black Noir for you to interview." And
you're going to hear the interviewer being like, "Noir, how are you?"
That was just a nice little
all
bit.
Of that interview thing where she, like, it was like, lady, he doesn't want to answer, stop. It just got kind of awkward really fast.
Not as awkward as the sex that Ashley and Burke were having, where she's calling him a fraud because he didn't even do the reshoots. Pull my hair. No, pull it out. Oh fuck! I know I give you shit for talking about Ashley's clothes all the time.
Ashley's fucking brilliant.
Ashley's fucking brilliant, especially in this episode. But the angry hate sex in the cinema toilet.
You're a fraud. He had to reshoot half your things for you. Oh.
In the Lamplighter Memorial Theatre.
Oh.
But yeah, sorry, that red carpet scene, it's just, there's so much going on there. We could probably talk about it for an entire hour.
Oh, it's
hilarious. But we'll have to move on. And
know.
I am happy to move on to talk about the Deep, who's finally made it out of the cult.
Yes, he's free, and he took his wife with him, who, even though she gives terrible blowjobs.
Yeah.
Which is for him, that's gross.
It is gross, and I suppose he's also smart enough to know that
it's good marketing.
It's good, yeah. He still needs to get back into the Seven, and he can't just ditch the person who's made him kind of go up in ratings with the women.
Yeah, well, he appears on the Cameron Coleman Hour, and he's shilling his new book, Deeper, which we know he, had the title.
Yeah, but it turns out that it was ghostwritten for him by Shia LaBeouf's ghostwriter.
He tried. He tried, and we'll give him props for that. It's more effort than Deep's probably ever done in anything else in his life.
Yeah.
And this is something that he tried to do, realised he couldn't do, backed off, got somebody else to do it for him, and no sea animals died in the process.
That we know of.
Yes.
We'll find out perhaps later on in the season how many sea animals die. I'm sure at least one does.
Oh.
But I like he's pretty confident in that scene. Yeah. And like he seems happy, even though he's not on the Seven yet. He's doing his thing. He's shilling his book. And it's not until he realises that Homelander is angry with him. Because he got his time slot ahead of him. He's so angry. And you can see Ashley being like, shut the fuck up, like she's head shaking and stuff. But on talk shows, is the last guest not the most important? I don't know, maybe on American political talk shows you'd want to have them be first because of really short attention spans. I don't know, but in any case, Homelander's certainly taking it as a slight. Yeah. It takes deeper. And it's just the first 4 or 5 encounters he has in this episode are all huge knocks to his ego. They are on the... Well, no, this one he's like, that went pretty well. At the end of it. Yeah, no, but Homelander's after taking blow after blow after blow. Oh, to Homelander's ego. Sorry, I thought you meant Deep's. No. Deep walked away from that alive. That was like, everything intact. He said that went pretty well. Yeah, they're still, everything's intact. I haven't been disappeared. But Homelander just keeps getting these blows to his ego. And then, which culminates in the ultimate one with the Stan Edgar meeting. Yeah, but I like how when he's talking to Deep, he's like, were you on the slot before me? And Deep's like, yeah, I was doing my book, and here's Cassandra, you remember my wife, we got out of that fucking cult, and blah, 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 and he talks for ages, and then he says, so maybe get me back on the Seven. Yeah, he's and like, I'm ready to go, like, put me back on the team. Yeah, and Homelander just says, how? And he's like, how what? Like, how do you put me back on the Seven? And he's like, how did you get the slot before me? Because he hasn't made it past that at all. He's still processing that. I was happy to see, purely for the Deep's well-being, but I was happy to see that Homelander recognised it wasn't the Deep's fault that he got the slot before him. Like, he knows and he knows that Kevin's an idiot. He just, he leaves it, and he's like, once the Deep kind of apologises and shows the fear that Homelander needs to have, he's like, okay, fine, it's not your fault. And even gives him, it was good to see you. Yeah. Which was unexpected. Yeah, he's doing well for himself. He can learn. No, and I also think... It's about time he learned some fucking humility, in fairness. No, but he's also... knowing the way his schemy little brain works. Yeah. He's going, what did he do? How is he... Because he's earning back the public's approval after, these... not allegations, after he put something where it shouldn't have gone. It sounds like he's the first person to have been kicked out of the Seven.
Yeah, and
is
he's
the
actually
Deep.
earning a way back into it.
And yeah, like,
as opposed to A-Train, who
Lamplighter was retired, we were told. Marathon Man was probably retired as well, we don't know, but he lasted 4 years on the 7.
Or not Noir, Translucent was blown up.
Yeah, Translucent was killed. But yeah, Deep was actually fired from the 7 and now is actually doing quite well, and he has a
At least he's not in Sandusky, Ohio anymore.
The article on him that's calling him the next Leia Remini.
The Thinking Man superhero?
Oh, that comes later on, but yeah.
The Thinking Man superhero. Yeah, no, and the whole Leia Remini thing, obviously, when she left Scientology and then was like, I want to talk about it to everybody.
And rightly so.
Yes, and it's brilliant, and I love her talk shows, and her talking about it is super, super interesting as well. It's
nice to see. I know we're only an episode in, but we were saying it, I think, in the season 2 wrap chat, that it'll be interesting to see the Deep strike out on his own, because he was under the 7 for the first season, under the Church for the second season.
And you get the impression that he was very much groomed from the ground up, like he was in one of the team. So yeah, he's never had to think or act or do, like, you can see that by the way he shops and like how he eats and stuff like that.
So yeah, it's nice to see that he's striking out on his own and not making a complete balls of it. He seems to be doing okay for himself.
Yeah, and I think he has genuine affection for Cassandra.
And then, a Homelander gets another knock with the co-captain reveal from Stan.
Oh
no, sorry. Before that, Stan has already had the room for a meeting with Dakota Bob.
Woo! Dakota Bob!
So, yeah, like in the comics, Bobby Singer is going to be Dakota Bob. He's running for president.
They love a cowboy in the White House.
Yeah, that's in line with the comics.
Yeah. The announcement for the running mate, if it's not Victoria Neuman, I'm going to be horribly disappointed.
Well,
she can be Vic the Veep.
It looks like they could be going that way with the show, that Bob is going to become president. Vic Neuman will, by the end of this episode, she's going to get exposed, at least to the boys. So it will become known that Vic is a Vought person, but will still probably get on the ticket, because, as we know, Stan has contributed money to Bob's super PAC.
His hefty donation to his super PAC.
Yeah. While he's trying to sell him V24.
I'm loving Stan's. Stan basically took a good long look at everything and just does not give a fuck anymore. When he's revealing his plan to Bob.
Yeah, Stan's decided
about getting away from the superheroes. We already have seen his contempt for the superheroes. He calls them children. He's always referring to them as infants and throwing tantrums and stuff like that. And
we know
V
is his product. We've heard him say that before.
We're a pharmaceutical company. And he's just decided now, and rightly so, that these superheroes are far more fucking effort than they're worth.
Yeah.
Whereas if he's dealing with just straight pharmaceuticals, he doesn't have to put up with any of this. And the way that he pushes it as it being temporary, and it's the perfection of the formula.
Yeah, because when it was V given to people and they're turned into superheroes, there's all that shit that gets attached to it. Whereas,
like the ego and the fame.
Yeah, the ego and the fame. Whereas
and the dead prostitutes.
Yeah, it's just 24 hours to get the mission done, and then they're back to a normal person, so they can't have that ego, they can't have that bullshit. And it's a much, much better product from his point of view and from Bob's point of view, because, as he points out, what happened in the Hard Rock Cafe in Lagos was a shit show, and Black Noir should be up on war crimes, which is another little Marvel dig, I think, there at Civil War. And I think that a little bit of inspiration could have come from the comics there for Stan's attitude towards V, because Edgar in the comics certainly gets there by the end, where he's like, superheroes are a bad product and we need something else.
Yeah, but in fairness, in the comics, the superheroes aren't living in the same tower he's working in. They're floating up in upper orbit, so where he doesn't have to look at them.
But Mallory, on the other hand, in the comics, is the reason that the boys have this stable version of V, is because he spirits Vogelbaum away from Vought and knows well enough that the government will want V for the army.
Yeah.
And knows that that's going to be a shit show. So,
when he sets him up in that like cabin in the woods.
Yeah, he sets Vogelbaum up in this cabin with a little lab in the basement and tells him, make V, but I want you to make the process take fucking ages, and I want it to be ridiculously, prohibitively expensive, so that it's never a viable option for the government to mass produce it for the army. And in the comics, it's like $4 billion a hit to turn the boys into super strong.
As adults, to turn it into a stable thing, whereas it does seem to be, like in the comic books as well, it's also out in the wild.
Well, yeah, but this is to get you that stable version costs $4 billion a pop. So yeah, the government are never going to put that into like a mass production. And Stan's got like his own version of this here, where it's $200 million a pop, but it's only going to get to you for 24 hours.
Yeah. And so it puts it down, it's what, 60 million a squad?
Yeah, or 600 million a squad.
Yeah, but is that going to be cheaper than like...
But the same thing is it's never going to have full...
The way you market that though is you're not going to need the month. If they're superheroes for 24 hours,
your
mission isn't going to take anywhere near as long.
And it's people who are already trained as soldiers being given superpowers, as opposed to superpowered people who have no military training.
Yeah, but you would have to train them on the drug as well, so that they're not completely overwhelmed and become Lex Luthor in that one Superman one where he takes the stuff and then becomes so hyper focused on like watching atoms split that he's like a drooling mess in the middle of the street.
But it'll be interesting to see. I know they say it's
kind of want that to happen to somebody on the V24.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is I'd like to see some of the development of V24, but it'll be interesting to see what if you get the same power set every time you take it, or if different people take it. Does everybody get, say, super strength and laser vision like we saw in the trailer?
Is it like that Sense8 show where it's like you get to take it but you don't know what you're
going to get? You don't know what you're going to get. Yeah.
It's a piñata. It's a like fucking dice roll every time you take it.
I assume it should be at least somewhat predictable if you're trying to sell it to the military as like a weapon.
Yeah, like that it just is like super strength, super speed. You don't want them getting something like ridiculous, like if they sneeze, like darts shoot out of them or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want them getting, or like being like on fire.
Well, you'd love that.
What if they were on fire all the time?
You always like a person on fire.
I do enjoy a person on fire as long as they are resistant to said fire.
No, we're not going back there. We are not going back there. We'll move on to the co-captain reveal. But yeah, that co-captain reveal meeting is just there's so many awkward bits. Homelander's little like quick step to try and get to the chair.
Run! Oh, it's so funny. But he's like, when he walks up to her, like he's almost kind of submissive to her. Like, it's like he doesn't want to rock the boat too much. The way he approaches her, he's quite polite. He's like, sorry, I need the room. That I thought was maybe a little bit more curt, but when he's talking to Stan... He's lost a lot of his, like, charm that he would have used previously. Like, a lot of the facade is gone.
Oh, yeah, and definitely when he's talking to Stan, he's talking to him like he's got his tail between his legs.
Yeah.
Compared to the meeting we saw in the first episode of season 1, where he storms into the office and he's giving him all this about, I decide who does what, and my contract's up, I might go somewhere else, and Stan gives him the dressing down. Now, when Stan's telling him this news, he doesn't rail or bluster against it.
No, he just very quietly takes it. He's like a slapped child. He's
even the point where Stan says, "Oh, Starlight will help boost your ratings," and Homelander
she has a 96.
But Homelander says that's very considerate, and you almost expect him to say, "But I don't need it." But he follows it up with, "When does the board vote?" Because he knows it's if Stan's saying it to him, it's already a foregone conclusion that it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So he's like, the only thing he has left is when does the board vote? And he's told they already have.
They had very clever ploy on Stan's part to tell them both at the same time. Starlight looks like she's about to fucking die. So awkward.
Yeah,
like she's going, no, I don't want to. But she wants to make it clear to Homelander, because Homelander's still incredibly dangerous. Like, you don't know how he's going to react.
I think that's why Stan has done it like that to help Starlight out a little bit, because if he's
still gunning for her, even though the only thing that is being held over him is this video. He's not aware that Billy
and where the child is.
Yeah, that Billy has a copy of this. Maeve presumably gave him a copy of it for safekeeping in case anything happened to her.
Yeah, but no, I think Stan has done that. He's brought Starlight in to tell her in front of Homelander, because he knows if he tells her and then goes to Homelander and says, "Oh, by the way, Starlight is the new co-captain, it's all been sorted out already," he will be like, "Oh, this is Starlight's fault."
Yeah, and I do understand her reasoning for backing up off it, because you know. Yeah. And Stan knows, and he's like shit stirring as much as the next person.
when he makes him leave the room.
Oh, and he gets the timing right on the doors that time.
Just as Homelander turns around.
They close, and he's like, no, and he's like, yeah, schedule a meeting, yeah, see ya.
Yeah, and as he walks in, he's like, well, I'll schedule a meeting if I have time. I'm like, pretty booked up. And Stan's like, yeah, whatever, close those doors.
He can get pissy if you want.
Yeah, he can hear you, I hope he can. It's just the balls on Stan. And when he says...
He needs a wheelbarrow from them balls.
When he says to Starlight, or we both know why he won't do anything. Is that the video of them on the plane, or is that something else, I wonder?
I think that's that lovely little secret he has in his headquarters. He gets to keep her. She's keeping him satiated.
Oh, what that?
They discovered what happened when Stillwell was taken away from him.
Yeah. Oh, so you think that's what they have over him, is that Stormfront's still alive and not the video?
Yeah, I think it's that she somehow soothes him.
Yeah. No,
and like is placating the ego. Why else would he have access to her?
It's just, I don't know, it's just the way Stan says, or we both know why.
I'm sure we'll find out. Yeah, well, also they've lost Ryan as well.
Yeah, it sounds like there's something more there that Homelander would consider a threat. I don't know, he does say later on when he's talking to Stormfront that, they keep holding that video over me. So it probably is that. Don't want to get too hyper-focused on it. It's not one of the Deep's bodily functions. But we do see the Deep again.
We do get
to see his
section on Cameron Coleman where they're talking about the disappearance of Alistair Adonis.
Yeah,
which is
supposedly
a nice little Scientology reference.
Oh, the wife of
I can't remember her name. Hang on.
Yeah, but the wife of the
Shelley Miscavige, who hasn't been seen since 2007, 2008.
Yeah, I think that is a little bit of a subtle reference to that. But the Deep is giving TED Talks.
Yeah.
And he's been called the thinking man superhero.
Yeah, everyone's like, we're surprised about how compassionate and insightful you are.
Yeah.
Well, he did do all those kids' workbooks.
It's true, he did all those kids' workbooks. Maybe he learned a little bit from them. And the book was ghostwritten for him as well, so...
Yeah. Of course it was. None of these people write their own books.
Yeah, I'm assuming, even though we saw the Deep... When the Deep and Homelander meet, it looks like the Deep has just come off set.
Yeah, like he'd finished taping it.
Because that's why Homelander says, did you get the thing before me? And Homelander walks on then and does his bit.
Yeah.
But we don't see the Deep's bit till later.
I don't know. I think they're all pre-taped. But that looks like... Because that section looks like it's somebody flicking through the various channels.
Oh, it is actually, because that leads into the American Hero TV spot.
Yes.
So, yeah, it is. It's supposed to be the airing of that. Yeah, you're right.
Superhero Bachelor. It's so bad. I'm sorry, American reality shows like that whole concept, and it's so dragged out, and it's so dramatic and cheesy and over the top, and I fucking hate it.
Yeah, it's
I can't cope with it. And then like the busts all wearing, it's like, time to hang up your cape. Now, I watch Drag Race, but at least Drag Race doesn't really do that. You get like a big fabulous lip sync before
it. But yeah, no, that one's a bit drawn out. But yeah, the Deep
They should make the two losers fight. That'd be more fun. No, show us why you should be in it. Fight, to show us your passion.
Yeah.
No, not the face, obviously.
I assume there has to be some element of using your superpowers worked into the show. That's to decide who goes on to 7. But yeah, no, the Deep on Cameron, I think, is just basically to catch us up with what the Deep has been up to. It's another short scene to be like,
And also the fact that they've covered up Alistair Dana's head going poofy everywhere.
Yeah. But when we cut back to the tower, it's the photo shoot where poor old Homelander is standing there beside Starlight.
Well,
looking happy, but definitely not happy at all.
Oh my God, Ashley! That's where Ashley literally looks like she's going to be sick at any moment.
Well, I mean, look at the smile Homelander's giving, and I think she's been working with him for long enough now that she can probably read behind his facial expressions.
You can see he's getting more and more stressed, and it's becoming more and more obviously fake. Like when you've got the whole interview segment at the start where he's repeating I'm just the guy who fell in love with the wrong woman. And
well, I don't think he's supposed to be repeating. That's
no, but you get the photo tile kind of thing of all these interviews, and you can see.
No, that's the same interview. Just it's all different channels.
Oh, is
having
it?
Interviewed him at the red carpet.
But you can see the cracking, and that's just a continuation of it, where the smile is even more strained, and the eyes are getting more manic.
Definitely a strained smile. And he walks out of that.
And the leather, shoot. Like, I'm surprised there's like no fingerprints in the back of that chair. Like.
Yeah, but he walks out of that photo shoot really not happy and decides to throw what little weight he has around and bully A-Train. But he's a right fucking dick to him, like, just there. Hey, you fatty, come over here and let me tell you how fat you are, you fat fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, how'd you like that, fatty?
No, when he started off and he was like, oh, hey, you got the whipped cream? I was like, no!
When the first thing he mentions is cream, I was like, where's he going with this? And then, that wasn't where I was expecting him to go.
No, but he is. He's a bully, and But
that was such real...
He's just punching
petty,
down.
Real petty bullying. And it's super childish. I've just gotten, like, admonished or something bad has happened to me. So I'm going to go and take it down. Slap somebody who I know is lower down than me. And it's kind of pathetic.
Yeah. And
I think he realises himself how pathetic it is when, after A-Train has told him to fuck off very silently, but Homelander still hears it and basically threatens to laser him in the middle of the halls in Vought Tower.
Yeah. He gets his Batman voice on.
When there's still fucking cameras everywhere, like media cameras everywhere.
Yeah, he gets his Batman voice on too.
Oh, he does. Say it. Say it.
Yeah.
We see Maeve seeing that.
And being very worried because she's managed to protect herself and she's protected Starlight.
But if Homelander's threatening people, well, not even that. I think, but it's more. I think Homelander's openly threatening people in the hallways now. He's getting really unbalanced, and we see just how unbalanced he is when his idea of like.
Oh no!
His relaxing after a long stressful day as he goes and he visits Stormfront, who's still alive. And the undisclosed location she's being kept at is Vought fucking Tower, her old room.
In his suite, yeah.
Was that not? Is that not her old room?
I don't know what it is, but honestly, it's better to keep her there where at least they know she's there.
Yeah, and we see a little bit of
she's healed up.
We see that little bit of a news report about how the Storm Chasers, her alt-right Nazi fuckhead support group,
are becoming increasingly more vocal and
violent at rallies.
Yay!
And we're like, why is that on the screen? And then it's revealed that, yes, Stormfront is lying in her bed.
Yeah. They've got her on an IV. They don't seem to have much else. She's still got, like, a hand.
Yeah.
Not much else.
Homelander tells her how hard his life is, and she's like, oh, you've suffered so much.
No one suffers like you have suffered.
Yeah, let me come and ease your burden.
And she's like got the hat. She's like
reaches the hand out
and he just very nonchalantly like lowers. No, it's the lowering of the bed.
No, it's the shot from behind where he's just kind of shuffling around in his midsection. I'm like, is he undoing his pants? I think he's undoing his pants.
And he's like, here you go.
Oh, is he going to go get like a stump job off Stumpfront? And he goes over and that scene is
just
so
the way he's doing it
funny.
while he's ranting, and he lowers the bed and he's like, here you go and you actually hear it
going. I think he says here you go as well. He does say
here you go, and you hear like the into the hand and there's various noises and you can see her moving. And as he's getting his like rant on and he's working up a good head of steam and she's
really
like, oh yeah, we'll get the open bench, and he's like, what?
No!
Yes! No! Yes! No!
Yeah.
We don't need an army of Supermen. That's the point.
I am the master race. It's me. But just the way he's like, what? No. And she's like, yes. And he's like, no. And she's like, yes. He's like, no, God damn it. We've talked about this. It's all just everything he does sexually is so hilariously fucked up.
Yeah. Then he just walks away and it's like, you just rest. But like you can even see it when he's like, "What? No! Oh, I'm supposed to be the master race."
It's gone now.
It doesn't work unless you use the horn.
That was when we were watching it. That was the first thing I thought of. Was that scene
from that Michelin Web. After I'd stopped screaming.
Oh yeah, I laughed my ass off. But while I was laughing my ass off, I was thinking about that scene from that Michelin Web.
It doesn't work unless
you know perfectly well. It doesn't work unless we use the horn. It's just, God, that's so funny.
It's like, we'll keep, that's it, like Vought are like, here, you can still get access to her because she does that weird thing to you that like Stillwell used to do.
Yeah, that's the only thing
that seems to be his only
I
tension
can't
relief.
quite parse out why Vought
He's got
have kept
weird
her.
Edible fucking issues.
Well, yeah, is it that they've kept her around just to keep him happy? Like, to give him just, like, throw him a bone and let him keep Stormfront around. And then we've got the plane thing to hold over him. We've got the Stormfront handjob machine.
I don't know. Well, it all will be revealed. I'm sure Edgar's got some master fucking plan.
Oh, no doubt he does. If he knows exactly what he's definitely got a 5-year plan.
Yeah,
we
so
know that. And I'm sure Homelander is part of said 5-year plan.
Yeah, but this is the best way to control him.
Yeah.
I think is to, like, as much as he's like, oh, I just fell in love with the wrong person, I think he actually did genuinely care for Stormfront outside of her being a Nazi. Like, that did not track with him at all. That wasn't cool, but he actually enjoyed her company. And I think
it was because he viewed her as
an ally and an equal.
Yeah, more as an ally and equal than anybody
She wasn't
else.
afraid of him. She could stand up to him. She was possibly as powerful as him.
Yeah,
he just really didn't like the rhetoric she was spewing.
Yeah, and she's one of the few people who didn't lie to him.
Yeah.
Well, after she came clean about the Nazi reveal.
Yeah, she didn't really lie to him.
She never really lied to him, whereas everybody else has lied to him to try and control him.
What genocide?
She's still trying to control him just as much, but she hasn't lied the same way.
Yeah. Or just when he's walking away and she's just wiggling in the bed.
Yeah, like, no. He's like, just have some rest.
No.
Yeah. Oh, she fucking deserves all of it. She fucking deserves all of it, the goddamn Nazi raisin looking bitch.
She makes Deadpool look good. Like,
yeah, she does.
You look like a testicle with cancer.
But that's kind of all the Seven stuff. Well, not all
majority
of
the
Seven stuff for the episode. And the boys have been getting up to plenty as well, as we find out. First off, when Billy comes to see Hughie in the toilets.
Yeah, well, Hughie's appearing on a red carpet with Starlight, and well, he's just there. Seems to be there as Starlight's +1.
Yeah.
But Newman's there as well, and you get the interaction between them where Newman's like, "Kill me," and he's like,
"Oh, it's a murder suicide."
So that's like, okay, they're still working together. The morning after the red carpet, you see just how serious him and Annie kind of are, and that he's living this, he's got a nice apartment, he's got himself a Peloton, he's got a NutriBullet, he's living the yuppie lifestyle to its fullest.
Oh, he is Patrick Bateman light as far as I'm concerned, with his Billy Joel and his NutriBullet and his Peloton. He is Patrick Bateman light. Yeah, but he's done it in reverse. Patrick Bateman worked his way up to killing people.
Yeah,
he did all the killing people and then became a weird yuppie who's obsessed with the boring stuff.
And skincare and fucking... Oh my god, they had it.
Yeah, he's Patrick Bateman in reverse.
Yeah.
That's a very, very good point.
Yeah. He's Bateman buttoning?
Benjamin Batemaning?
I don't know.
Oh, we're labouring this and I don't think it's going anywhere.
No.
But
I couldn't work out feeding cats into ATMs in there anywhere.
No. But before we get Hughie's boring yuppie day, we have the termite party. Because that's why...
No.
That's why Butcher shows up to say, we have been tracking so-and-so for a month. Can we go and have a go at him? And Hughie is like,
who's your source?
I'll go and, who's your source? And I'll go and talk to Neuman. And it's like, hang on, Hughie's giving the orders. Nice. We knew a little bit of that from the trailer, but yeah, we get to see that Hughie actually is the one in charge of what the boys do now. And Butcher's not too happy about it, but is playing ball because he's even going to give him expense reports. Yeah,
I don't want to know what those expense reports are. Also, they're in the Flatiron Building.
Yeah, we find that out later. They're in the Gridiron Building, which is straight out of the comics.
Yeah, delighted about that.
The termite party is the first real boys thing that we get in this episode.
Why does Zoe have to explode in the start of every episode?
Because it's the boys. At this point, all we've had is some hilarious scenes and some riding in the toilet.
Yeah, this has to be a super violent episode.
Oh, well, up to this point, it hasn't been a super violent episode because across this scene, we get a guy climbing inside another man's penis and
I don't want him.
Come on, you've never seen it on TV before, anyway.
No, I know that, and I'm going to be really, really afraid to go on the internet in a while.
But no, when they get to the termite party and he's doing the Barbie doll,
that's kind of hilarious.
It is.
And they're like, but what I didn't get was everybody else at the party running over, being like, "Oh my god, look what he's doing!" Like they were like fucking children.
Yeah, like...
That had a really childish aspect to me. Like, that's something you would get in, like, a frat house.
It's certainly not hilarious enough that it would have a whole group of people standing around. Unless he had done a whole bit up to that point where he was, like, you know, taking her out to dinner and trying to seduce her and, like, bringing her from the... It was a whole bit, and that was just the end of it. But yeah, just a tiny dude who you know his power is to shrink down. A tiny dude shrinking down.
Because you've seen him before.
Yeah.
He's in the night. He's in the
very first episode.
Yeah. He's taking a running dive.
Yeah, we've seen him take a dive into a vagina before.
Yeah,
and today...
can I just point out, really unhygienic. You don't know where he's been, and obviously he's been in some really dirty places. Yeah, and at least he's got dirty feet too. Ew, and he's walking around inside you.
Because another little bit of in-world consistency, much like Translucent had to be naked to be invisible.
He's also naked.
And Doppelganger couldn't transform the clothes he was wearing. Yeah, Termite has to be naked to shrink down.
He Hulk bursts out of them boxers.
The Ken shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in order to shrink, there's no point in having clothes because then you have to climb out of them as a tiny person.
Yeah. Plus he walks around on that sticky, dirty table.
But yeah, when your man was like, "I want you inside me," I was like, I'm pretty sure
it was going to go one of two ways.
I was certain.
It was either going to be what we really wanted to happen to Thanos.
I honestly thought that's what they were going to do, was that they'd have him go in the butt so that they could have the Thanos / Lemmy Winks reference. But no,
Lemmy Winks.
No, I was pretty sure he was going to shrink down and go inside that dude, that's what he did. But he went inside his dick.
Yeah, I really didn't need that visual in the morning.
Is it because he's high? Or is it just because he's got a shitty superpower that when he sneezes, he reverts back to normal size?
I think it's just because he sneezed on coke.
But, yeah, he sneezes.
In a chuck!
Yeah, he sneezes and reverts to full size and explodes
that
that
is
poor guy.
Disgustingly fascinating scene because
it's
as
done
he gets
so
bigger,
well.
His feet go down your man's legs and explode out of his legs, but then he falls out of his torso.
Yeah,
it's like when A-Train ran through Robin and you could actually kind of see the progression through the body.
Yeah, it was nothing to do with the pandemic, nothing to do with anything else. The only reason that we had to wait so long for the boys was for them to finish that VFX shot.
Yeah, no, but it's really well done.
Oh, it is. It's amazing
because you obviously because your man's like number one head for the prostate. Dude, learn your anatomy.
Yeah, no, you could massage the prostate
from the other side.
Yeah. But yeah, that's where it is.
Again, ew, and dirty feet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of a moot point because the guy is all over the room now.
Yeah. At least he got a fairly quick death. He kind of came and went at the same time.
True. Well, that was before he sneezed. But when he started to hold in a sneeze, I was like, oh, I know where this is going. But before he sneezed, I was like, is he about to get drowned in cum?
Maybe he likes that.
Yeah, is he gonna get is he gonna surf a wave of cum out of that dude's dick? But yeah, no, we never got to find that out. Because...
Well, presumably, he's survived it before.
Yeah, I'm guessing he was, and I was about to say
again. Also, that was another just whipping it out and flumping it onto a table. Because there's an audible It's so gross.
That was such a funny scene.
But it's also the hammering home of how lewd and depraved they've gotten. That this is the extremes that they're going to now.
Yeah, and I mean he does look like he's pretty upset about it.
Yeah, no, he does.
That's his partner, his lover, his boyfriend that he's done it to, as opposed to just some random hooker or whatever.
Yeah. It's not fucking what's her face, Pop Claw.
It's not like Pop Claw and the landlord.
High on the V.
Yeah. Or the dead prostitutes that Stan referred to earlier.
We'll fetch a rug.
Fetching a rug, sir.
See, now I'm out of a rug.
But yeah, the fight scene then when Frenchie... Well, first of all, when Frenchie bursts in...
And he's got the little pocket camera as well, so it's like, oh my god, I didn't see anything, I'm out of here.
Yeah, he should have turned and run.
Yeah.
When your man says, get the fuck out, Frenchie should have just ran. Not stood there and waited for a good 5 seconds.
And said, no, I didn't see anything, I'm out of here. Yeah,
and then when he says, especially when he says, wait... Frenchie knows well enough he shouldn't have waited. When he said wait, that's when Frenchie should have fucking hightailed it out of there. Yeah. But that's a fun fight scene.
Run away! Yeah, for a tiny
he's trying to get into my asshole.
Oh my god, it was like that scene in Evolution where the bug gets in the suit and he's screaming his face off, only without ice cream and barbecue tongs.
But yeah, that just
he's super fucking strong for itty bitty. It makes sense if he's termite because the whole they can lift like a ridiculous amount in comparison to their body weight. But
Yeah.
he fucks Kimiko into that wall.
Yeah, so it seems like he's got, like we've talked about before, V, regardless of what your actual special power is, you seem to get like
Super power,
super strength and super durability to a certain level, and whatever your power is. So he, even when he's shrunk down, seems to still have that same level of standard super strength that he can throw people around the room. And yeah, he does. He throws them around the room.
He's for his mouth too.
And
it's like,
yeah,
dude,
when he's
stop trying to get him, people.
Well, it's probably that's probably his.
Yeah, he gets into them and then blows up.
Yeah, that's probably his default way of stopping people is just
hello,
jump inside you and then grow to normal size.
I'm sorry,
you're dead.
but when Kimiko
catches him
and is like standing there slightly triumphant, slightly horribly confused, holding him in the air
like some sort of twisted S&M Gulliver's Travels.
I got him.
Yeah, no, when Butcher catches him,
I found a lily pudding.
When Butcher catches him in the bag of coke and just shakes him around the place. I love the inventive ways of dispatching soups. It's just great.
It was really weird because I was like, that's such a bad idea. Why do you want him to be like super coked out? Also, why didn't he just chuck his way out of the bag straight away?
He probably didn't realise what he was being thrown into, and then Billy starts shaking it pretty much straight away.
It's the Roxo way to go, so...
It is the Roxo way to go. Hey, Mr. Shrinking Man, you want to see this cocaine?
Yeah, it's like you might want to put Jiminy Cricket on his side because he's fucking ODing.
But yeah, after that then, after the termite hold her...
But like you've got Billy stopping himself and squishing him too.
Yeah, because the governor says not to.
Yeah.
And we have that little... it's a bit of a fake out, but Kimiko singing. I
didn't understand that whole scene. I'm very confused. I think that's going to probably be something seen later on.
That's going to come back later, and I think you're one playing the piano.
She says her name is Tracy.
Tyler. She says her name is Tyler, and I'm pretty sure seeing from casting announcements that
she's a TNT twin.
She's one of the TNT twins, and she's a soup.
Because I'm TNT.
But when I went into IMDb and looked in the casting list, I couldn't find anybody that was Tyler. Mm-hmm. There was somebody that was just like cool girl at party, which I think was her.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll find out. I reckon we'll find out about that later on.
Yeah, you get that fake out where she starts singing and we were like, what?
And I don't know if it's so much about Tyler so much as it is
Kimiko's desire to express herself.
Yeah, because we see her with the piano later on in the gridiron.
I love that bit. And the way she sat on the chair with the knees tucked up is really, really reminiscent to a lot of the poses you would see Kimiko sitting in the comic books. She's just the female in the comic books, but when you see her tucked up when they're in meetings and stuff, she always tends to kind of perch on things.
And she's doing her own thing. She's playing with Jamie the hamster. She's petting Tara. She's
reading
comics.
Jamie!
Jamie! Jamie the hamster.
Oh, I forgot about Jamie entirely.
Oh crap! They could have even brought Jamie into it because Termite could easily have had his own hamster.
Yeah, but Hughie has to find him, and Hughie was there.
True.
Jamie.
But speaking of Hughie, his day when he gets into after his sex and his Patrick Bateman routine, he goes into work and
where he's like number one cool guy in the office.
You're one coming up to him though and being like, we had a report of a soup jerking it outside a lady's window. It's like, well, how do we know it's a soup? Oh, it was the window of a 737.
Yeah, that's definitely a soup.
Fucking brilliant.
There's something on the wing of the plane. There's something coming on the wing of the plane.
Yeah, ejaculation at 10,000
I really wanted to be like, if they ID him in the next episode, it to either be like a little headshot of John Lithgow or William Shatner. That would just make me really, really happy. They're like, this is the guy who was jerking it. Just to bring it back full circle.
And the guy who comes up and like, is that Hugh Campbell? I heard him someday in Stormfront.
What? That was like, I think that was just to kind of, he's on an up and up trajectory. Like, he's doing really well in his job. He's got the apartment. He's got the girl.
Yeah, it's just to show people young people idolize him now. But I like the two little lunch scenes that we get with Vic Neuman and
just bring your own fucking bagel.
Yeah, she keeps eating this bagel for starters. But I like the rapport that they seem to have.
Yeah, you got that a little bit in the red carpet that they've been working together quite closely for the year. They're good friends.
Yeah, you can see that with the murder-suicide joke.
Yeah, they're very comfortable around each other.
And then here they're making bets about whether or not Butcher has
fucked up again.
Fucked up the mission and gone all violent.
It's like, well, he gets results. It's just... At least it's not massive property damage.
Yeah, and speaking of property damage, we find out that soup collateral is down 60% in the last year.
Which, you know...
So they're making their difference. We find out then in the second of the lunch scenes that they have to give up termite in exchange for 3 B-lister soups that they can take down. Because
he's got some deal... But I want him for some deal, but, you know, it's kind of useless.
It's a big money-making deal.
It's kind of useless because Butcher basically broke him by giving him a Belushi amount.
That's a nice line, yeah.
Of cocaine.
But it's interesting to see that even though the FBSA was set up to... Now, obviously, we know what the story is with Vic Neuman, but even though the FBSA was set up to provide oversight to soups, there's still this push and pull where Vought are like...
Vought are quite happy
to say, you can't prosecute this guy because he's going to earn us that much money. Instead, we'll give you these 3 low people, and the FBSA have to kind of just deal with that.
Yeah, it's a give and take. It's like...
But yeah, it just shows that the government as well, I suppose, don't... Even though Vic has her ulterior motives, it shows the government still can't just throw their weight around at Vought whenever they want. Because if they could, they'd be like, okay, we're going to prosecute Termite and those other 3 guys too. But yeah, that leads then into Hughie having to go to the gridiron and tell Butcher we can't go after Termite because...
Yeah, the deal's off with Termite, something's going on and we got somebody else, and then they have a bit of a Barney.
Because Butcher basically accuses him of, well, now you're basically just working with Vought.
The whole Termite sequence was a nice nod back to the way it was done in the comic books with them having the surveillance and stuff like that, and one of them just watching the screens and watching what was going on.
Yeah, and then in the gridiron scene...
The office looks like
the comics, the way that
there's just shit everywhere.
Frenchie and the female are just kind of sitting down doing their own thing while everybody else is talking about the missions. They're just kind of waiting to be told, off you go to do your jobs. Like
you find out isn't there, he's gotten out, so it's just Billy and Kimiko.
Oh, sorry, well actually we skipped ahead, but we have found out that Marvin had left when Butcher goes to visit Ryan. Happens before the gridiron fight.
Yeah.
We find out that Ryan is off in some military controlled compound with Mallory.
At least he's better guarded, because it looked like they had ground-to-air missiles there.
Yeah.
Which, in fairness, given who their main threat is, that's not surprising.
I think it was a really nice choice that Mallory's the one who's looking after him.
Yeah.
For a whole host of reasons.
Mallory's it's very sweet.
They haven't just foisted him off onto somebody who does childcare that can sign an NDA.
No, Mallory's actually
allows Mallory to stay in the game, but stay apart from it as well, because she never really wanted back in.
She's also apart from Billy, she's the person who knows the soups the best, so she's the best person to determine what threats there are to him. And you also get to see just how much the relationship between Billy and Ryan has grown, because it comes across as very comfortable, very familiar. He's obviously visiting him a lot. He's got his trust. It's very sweet.
For Mallory as well, also, it's...
replacement for her. Not a replacement for her.
But yeah, it's a chance for her to nearly, like, not make up for it, but yeah, she can still have... Something good can come from a relationship that she has with this child, as well as her being the best person to kind of keep an eye on him and his progress. She also can ensure that this time they're going to have a good soup, not a soup who will go around and burn her grandchildren because he's been threatened.
Yeah. Well, as he put they weren't supposed to be there.
We see a bit of growth from Butcher as well, because it does very much seem like that's not the first time he's come with a present for Ryan.
Well, no, the way Ryan runs out of the house, greets him, Butcher gives him a hug and is like, hey, look at you, like, gives him this present. Sits down with him, he's sitting on the floor, it's very relaxed. He's obviously earned enough of his trust that he's telling him about the nightmare he had.
Well, he says, I had another nightmare, so he's obviously told him about one before.
Yeah, but this is a relationship that's been going on for the last year, and he can overlook the fact that he's Homelander's kid, and he sees him now just as Becca's son.
Yeah, I think he's looked past, he realises that, there's still the issue of this is Homelander's son, and he's going to be super powerful.
Well, the way he just says, another one of your dad, but it's not... your dad, Homelander, I fucking hate him. It's just 100% concern about Ryan.
Yeah, and he even says to Ryan, when he says to Ryan, one day you're going to be strong enough that you'll never have to worry about him again.
Yeah.
When Butcher says that, if Butcher had to say something like that towards the end of season 2 to Ryan, or even in the last episode of season 2,
before he had had the whole conversation with his dad... It would have been a different conversation.
Before he had a conversation with his dad, and certainly before Becca died,
Yeah.
or even directly after Becca died, he wouldn't have been able to say that without a bit of like, you know, hatred or worry in his voice.
Yeah.
But when he says it here, he doesn't seem like he's at all worried that Ryan will be powerful, and he knows Ryan's going to be powerful enough to not worry about Homelander, but he's not worried.
Becca did a good job. Becca had raised him right. I think we were saying this during season Becca's a good mom. Becca was a really good mom. I wish I'd had like the breakfast Espanol and things like that, and she made it fun. And
Monday morning is Spanish breakfast. Sorry.
She taught him how to entertain himself, and that the things that she values, she's instilled in him, and he can see. Butcher now can see Becca's influence, and it's the Becca and the Lenny of it all.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't. This is his chance to honor both of their memories. He understands that Ryan is sensitive the way Lenny was, and that Ryan needs somebody to stand up for him, but also Ryan needs to learn how to stand up for himself, because that's where he went wrong with Lenny. His dad even says that when you left, who did Lenny have? He was too soft.
Yeah.
He understands that he's got to teach him how to stand on his own 2 feet, but he can't rely on him.
It's like this might sound really bad, but it's like he's upgrading as he goes along. So he went from Lenny, who he didn't abandon, but Lenny, who needed somebody around to keep him on the straight and narrow, to Hughie, who was a bit like keep him on the straight and narrow. Who was Hughie, who was a bit like Lenny, but who learned to stand on his own feet.
Yeah. But who Butcher also needed to keep Butcher on the straight and narrow.
To now somebody who is both as good as, or potentially as good as Hughie and Lenny, and can learn to stand on his own feet and have superpowers.
Yeah.
Shit, this might actually be the one soup I can get behind.
And he realises as well that he's bad, and he says it at the end of season 2 when he's telling Becca to go with MM and telling her that he has a darkness and he'll just fuck everything up because that's what he does. And he's still very, very aware of that when he's leaving the house.
He still thinks he's like his dad.
And Mallory is like, you could stay, and he's like, no, I'll just make things worse. And she's like, well, the reason, just the fact that you acknowledge that means you're already better than your dad is.
Yeah, and look at everything else you've done in the last year. You haven't killed Soups, you stayed off the drink, you
didn't even strangle Hughie.
Yeah, and he's like, I know, she's like, I know you're not doing that for you, because you have no reason to better yourself for you, as far as like, I know and you that well.
Just the little grand.
So yeah, he's like, or she says, if you're not doing that for you, which I know you're not, who else could you possibly be doing it for? And he glances towards the house, and she's like, yeah, see, that already means you're better than your father. And Billy feels uncomfortable at the compliment, rolls his eyes.
He doesn't look as like even though he's still in the same coat and everything like looks to fit better. He's taking more care in his appearance. Like, he's still kind of scruffy, but like the beard is neater, the coat is actually doesn't look like it's been dragged around the place.
Yeah, shoes are still untied though.
Yeah, but like the pants are like, everything is just like neater, and he's got a new place, and it's actually got furniture.
Yeah, he's more together.
Yeah,
but he's still not, like, because it's still a bare bones apartment. And then when we get back, it's
got more shit in it than the old one did.
True, but part of their fight that they have in the Gridiron is
about them trying to have lives.
Yeah, exactly. When he accuses Hughie of having a pathetic fucking life, or whatever it is he says.
Because at least I have one.
And then tries to tell Billy, look, it's time to, like, I'm sorry I left, but, you know, we it's okay to move on. Like,
Becca it's been a year.
Becca would have wanted you to be happy.
This man pined after his dead wife, his presumably dead wife, for at least 8 years. You know, another year isn't good. And now he knows for
I
sure
don't
that
think he's trying to tell him to move on from Becca. I think he's just trying to tell him to move on with your life.
Yeah.
Like, it's a new game now. We've got the FBSA, and they're actively fighting Vought.
Yeah, well, he does kind of throw that in his face a bit of, she's arrested more people than anyone ever has. And it's like, that's because they weren't actively, like, Vought were buying them all out of everything.
Well, yeah, no, Hughie is still in the honeymoon period with he's still, you know, he's blindsided and not blindsided.
It's all the victories. They haven't had any massive defeats yet.
They haven't had any massive defeats, and it's the same thing like when he got taken in by Billy at the start of season 1. He was like, oh yeah, we can be cool ass vigilantes like Batman and take down, and then he realises when he has to blow up Translucent that it's not all fun and games.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to say, like, look, well, MM got out Frenchie and female are they're still working with you, but they're doing their own thing. Like, she's trying to learn the piano and better herself, and you're the only person who's sitting here being the same old butcher. Like, Becca would want you to be happy.
Yeah.
You know, whatever it takes to get you happy. I don't think he's saying go and find a new girlfriend or anything.
No, but at the same time, this is the man who obsessed over his missing wife.
And as we can see, he's still obsessed with getting revenge on Homelander, because directly after the gridiron fight, we see him in his slightly better furnished apartment, staring at the video of Homelander and Maeve on the plane.
Yeah.
While a not so subtle kettle reaches a boiling point in the foreground.
Yeah.
Heavy-handed kettle.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Not as bad as the Homelander.
But,
Homelander at the end of season 2.
Yeah, no, that's probably the most heavy-handed they have ever been, was that bit. But the only thing left kind of from the boys' side is Hughie being a jealous little bitch.
Hughie being a little bitch. Oh yeah, Hughie. Like, they've been together for a fucking year. Get over yourself. She's obviously not going to move on. She would have done it at this point.
Like, yeah, I can appreciate
and
the
the only
fact
way
that
she's going to, like, and the way he's acting, she's going to leave him because he's being a jealous little bitch.
I can appreciate the fact that he hasn't the supersonic news is news to him.
Yeah.
But he knew that he wasn't Annie's first boyfriend. He knew that she wasn't a virgin. So it's not like...
Yeah, get over yourself.
Yeah, and I mean, fair enough, when he goes on set,
After
he sees them talking and laughing.
They've been through.
But yeah, when he goes on set and he sees them talking and laughing, I can understand a little bit of a twinge. But then the conversation that the two of them have in front of each other is very much of...
Mates who used to hang out.
Like grown-up people who used to date for a short while when they were teenagers, but they don't see it like that anymore and can totally have a laugh and a chat. And
yeah, it's old
Supersonic
friends.
Actually seems like a kind of nice guy.
Yeah,
he
like
certainly comes across as it in that scene.
Yeah, because they're like, it's what, 6 to 8 years.
Yeah,
like, she
somewhere
says
between
they're 18, so
yeah,
presumably 6 to 8 years.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess Annie's somewhere in mid-20s.
Yeah, and they're just mates, and they happen to have met up again, and like, clearly, if there was anything going on, she wouldn't. She's not.
He should know better.
Yeah.
He should know better.
He's bitter. It's so fucking bitter. And
she addresses
really
it straight away.
Yeah.
She's like, you've nothing to worry about. And he kind of cracks a joke and is like, oh, okay. And she's so right to make fun of him when she talks about, it
was all butt stuff.
We did a ton of butt stuff. But then, yeah, when they're in the trailer and they're talking about her being made co-captain, fair enough, he's worried for her.
What the fuck,
come on,
dude?
to be like, you're going to put your boyfriend on the team?
Yeah.
Like, what are you, fucking 12, Hughie? Come on. Like, you spent the season, most of season 2, being a bit of an asshole to her, and for some reason she felt the need to apologise to you. And now you're just doing it again, even though you've been together for a year. And yeah, she's right. Don't bring that Aquafresh around tonight. You ain't getting no sex, boy.
Yeah, and the whole thing about his not wanting her to be co-captain of the 7, dude, that's like the best thing you could want, is you have her in a position where she can actually affect changes from the top down in the way shit is done.
And that's what she says.
Everything she says is 100% relevant. Number one, it's going to be a massive inspiration for young women. She can set an example for them. She can influence who's going to be in the most powerful team that's there.
Yeah.
She's taken on board what Edgar said about the most powerful thing she has isn't this, it's the ability to get people to do what you want.
To bend the world to your whim. And I think Edgar knows that. He wants her to take the position, and he knows the only way to get her to do it is to appeal to her good side. So when he's saying, I can bend the world to my whim to do whatever I want for the company, what he's trying to say to her is, you can bend the 7 to your whim to do more good.
Yeah.
Hughie can't see that. Hughie's just worried about her.
Yeah.
And justifies it by being a little dickhead.
Has she not proven through her actions that she's already a lot tougher than he gives her credit for?
Yeah, and bringing up the mom as well was like a low blow.
She's been through a lot, and a lot more than he gives her credit for, going through.
But like when he brings up the mom, it's like, that's not really like as if he's trying to say, the only reason you want to be on the 7 is so that you can fulfill your mom's dreams. And it's like, no, like, you know Annie well enough to know that if she wants to be on the 7, it's because of the things she's just told you. She can do good. She can be an inspiration.
Yeah.
She can fuck up things at Vought. And for that reason alone,
yeah,
like, she doesn't even have to be particularly, like, troublesome to fuck things up at Vought. She can literally just go to the 7 meetings, get told the various things that the co-captain of the 7 would get told by the CEO of Vought, and then turn around to Hughie at the end of the day when she comes home for dinner and go, by the way, Vought did X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, well, like,
and he goes off to the boys. Like, what more could he want?
They're aware of their relationship as well, so obviously the board trusts that her being in that position and her having this relationship with him is only going to benefit them too. Otherwise, they wouldn't have voted for its approval.
I think the board probably know about Vic Neuman.
Yeah, so they know that there could be
even
a
if
certain...
well, they probably think even if Starlight is feeding information to Hughie and Hughie's giving that information to the boys, we're going to know about it because Vic will be able to tell us and scupper any plans they have.
They can also get in anything that's going on the inside, any rumblings that may not make it to their ears nor through like normal...
Yeah, I don't think they put her on the 7 just because she has a 96% rating without thinking about the potential
she's a little bit
harm.
Bit of a double agent without, necessarily realising it.
Well, I think they know it though. Yeah. I think she knows it too. But that more or less covers all the boy stuff except for poor who's not really having a good time of it. He's back with his family, but he's not back
He's living
with his
there,
wife.
Yeah. Though it seems to have all been quite amicable, like their relationship, the way it is now. With she's still concerned for him. They still care about.
Can I just start by saying, fuck you, Todd.
Todd's an asshole.
Fuck Todd. Well, no, Todd could be the nicest guy in the world, and I'd still say, fuck you, Todd.
Todd running into that fucking family photo when the thing he should have done was gone, oh, wait, I'll let you guys take a load first, and then, we'll do one separate. Instead of barging his way in.
Yeah, being completely oblivious to MM's uncomfortableness.
I'm flaunting it in front of her. And it is flaunting it too, which is just unnecessary.
Oh, yeah.
They really make it clear that isn't part of this family unit. Like, that his family has moved on without him.
Well, I think, Janine's still happy to see him. And I think Monique is still more than happy to have him in Janine's life.
Yeah, she's never going to not let him be there. But it is, it's more obvious now than ever that he's on the outside looking in.
Yeah, I think, him going back to Billy at the start of season 1 was an unforgivable transgression for her. But she realises that's what he's done to fuck up our relationship. It shouldn't mean that I should stop him from seeing his daughter, especially if he's out of it now.
Yeah.
And she says that, she's like, she doesn't bear me any ill will. I can't remember exactly what she says. But she does try and tell him, look, you do need to move on. Yeah. And he is a bit of a little bitchy comment, but he immediately rolls it back and is like, no, sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
He does. He bites his tongue right away and he's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but poor all he wanted was to get back to his family and Monique's moved on. And his daughter is obsessed with superheroes. Poor
Yeah, and Flavor Flav. She gets a big ass Flavor Flav. What?
No, so at least he's clearly still giving her good music to get into. But it's sad. And then the only other bit we get of is him putting her to bed and going into his room and opening up a closet. Yeah, and we see it's full of old newspaper clippings. And the first time we watched it, we were like, we saw the Stormfront and the Gunpowder and Kieran's Encounter stuff, and we were like, oh, is he following up
he's
something
been
from earlier?
Them from a
but
lot longer.
Then you spot that Robin, what happened to Robin is also there as a news clipping.
Yeah.
And you see something about Payback having hurt a family in the Queens or in the Bronx. Was Bronx or Queens?
I think it's something to do with the lawsuit his dad originally had.
Yeah, I reckon
I think he's acknowledged previously in his conversation with Annie.
His dad. Yeah, he said we got a bit of backstory for him.
That his dad has a sickness and he's afraid that he's going to pass it on, and you see that with his OCD, and you see it when Janine is asking him if he's been taking his Lexapro, which is an antidepressant, anti-anxiety.
Yeah.
That he's aware of this. He has sought medication and assistance for this, and he has tried to get out, but he's never going to be able to let it go.
Yeah, and has he is this just stuff he's been doing on his own over the last year, or is this stuff that he's had in the closet for years and years and years since before he ever joined the boys the first time?
I think this is his dad's research.
Yeah, is this his dad's research and his own research after his dad passed on?
You find out that Soldier Boy supposedly died in 83, 84, was buried under a reactor. And there's articles, newspaper articles there that are recent to the time, or that are
around, it would be around that time.
That happening to Soldier Boy. So I think this is his dad's research.
Yeah, and we talked about that in our season 2 wrap as well, I think, where I said that I think that's probably going to be close to the comics as to what happened to MM.
Yeah.
But his little brother will have been killed by a superhero
as
or killed for something, as opposed to the horrible thing that happens to him in the comics. But yeah, that's poor MM's lot at the minute.
It's not good. Yeah,
we get a little
he recognises his obsession and that he can't fight his obsession anymore, so he's kind of given into it, but it's in this kind of weird controlled way.
Yeah, no,
it's the only thing in his life he has control over at the moment, because obviously having being out, his Monique has moved on. His daughter is splitting her time with those.
But I think that was one of the things we said in season 2 when Grace tells him after the meeting with Jonah Vogelbaum, just get out. You need to get out. There's no justice for your father. There's no justice for you. You just go with your family. And
take your family and go.
We were saying that in the same way that his OCD made him perfect that Vermont country dollhouse, his OCD probably wouldn't allow him to leave the job undone. And it seems like, he still can't leave that job undone. We don't know what it was yet. We'll probably get more of it this season, which, I finally want him backstory.
Yeah.
But other than that, then the only, the few other bits we haven't talked about are the 2 visitors that Billy gets. First, Maeve comes to see him.
Yes.
And tells him that, we're going to need to stop Homelander, and I have a couple of bits to help you.
Maeve turns out to be his informer.
His source, yeah.
Which tracks with Maeve in the comic books as she's
a long time informant for them.
She's the one who had planted all the bugs in Vought HQ for them in the comic books.
Yeah, now the reason behind it is different,
but in this it tracks because she's been able to hold him off with the threat of this video. But once if that video's gone, that's all the leverage she has.
Yeah, so
and they don't know how long they're going to have until that video as leverage no longer works.
Yeah, so they're going to need an option B, and she has a couple of things up her sleeve. The first is the temporary V.
Yes.
That she explains what it is, and Billy's like, I don't know about this tested thing.
Why the fuck? Yeah.
I could potentially turn into one of you, which I don't even really want to be, or I could have giant fucking testicles. Yeah. Yay! And then the other thing she gives him is a file on Soldier Boy. And he's like, I thought he died or isn't he supposed to have died?
Yeah, do you remember how he died? I think is how they phrase it.
Yeah, she says, nah, if you believe it, and shows him the file, and it says he was dispatched by something called BCL Red, and he's like, fuck, that must have been like a H-bomb or something, because he's nearly as strong as shit, and the penny drops, and Maeve was like, maybe we could use this weapon or whatever it is to take down Homelander. And says Soldier Boy used to run with Crimson Countess and Gunpowder.
Yeah, no, he was like, he was banging Crimson Countess and Gunpowder was his sidekick, and if anybody knew what happened to them, those two would.
Yeah, so she says,
like,
be
the
careful.
Actual truth of what happened.
Yeah, she says, be careful. That's why she's giving him the V to help him.
Yeah, because even though they were dickheads, they're still really powerful.
And she says that when the 7 passed Payback in ratings back in the day, Crimson Countess sent her a box of cat shit.
Yeah, which is a total Sharon Osbourne thing to do.
Oh god, yeah, definitely.
Love it.
And then Maeve departs and says, don't fuck this up. And Butcher's back at home. I was about to pour the special V down the sink.
Yeah.
And Homelander appears.
Down the sink? Like, he's such a fucking prick, he won't even say to them.
I think it's the temptation is too strong for him.
Yeah.
I think he's worried about like just taking it and going after Homelander himself and realising that's probably not a good idea. And that's what Homelander appears and nearly seems to suggest to Billy as he shows up. That's a scene. That is a scene.
He's got he hears a noise and he hides the V24 in the bulldog cookie jar.
Yeah.
And kind of lets him in, and you're going, oh, okay, why is he on the balcony? Is this a fucking dream sequence? What's going on?
Tells Homelander that if he wants to watch him have a wank, he'll have to pay a tenner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it just basically...
comes in, sits down.
Comes in.
It's a bit weird.
Asks him about Ryan, threatens him a little bit when he doesn't get it, and then Butcher's like, look, can we just cut to the chase and have you kill me, please?
Yeah.
Homelander's like, where's the fun in that? look, you know what's happening. You've been pushed aside too. And basically says we're relics of a forgotten age kind of thing. And you know, what we both really want is fire and brimstone. You know, mano a mano. Two of us.
Neuman alludes to that in the earlier conversation, that Butcher's good in war.
Yeah, he's the guy you want on the front line.
But we're in peace times.
But are they?
Well, like that's but that's the illusion that they're giving, is that they're in peace times.
Yeah, I think Homelander knows that too, and he's trying to play on it.
Yeah.
I think Homelander wants a villain that he can.
They're kind of like they're each other's nemesis, and they're not really like, it's that weird Batman Joker thing where they're like they can't kill each other because then what would they do?
That scene really puts me in mind of Batman, because it's framed, the start of it is framed like the interrogation scene from The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Homelander does his little Batman exit at the end.
Yeah, no, but it does. It's very much that whole long-term nemesis, begrudging respect for each other that you get, like but Sherlock and Moriarty have it. Like it's a
but where Joker is always the one who's like, you complete me, Batman. Let's we can do this forever and ever. This time it's actually Homelander, the superhero, the Superman, coming and saying to Billy Butcher, basically, I need a good villain. You're a good villain. Let's go at it together.
Yeah, we both like the violence.
And Butcher admits to it and says, yeah, that is what I want. But whereas Homelander, it's what Homelander wants too, but Butcher knows, it's what I want, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I should or will get it, because it's not good for everybody else. And especially after having visited Mallory and Ryan. Yeah,
he knows he's got a good thing going on.
Yeah, he has realised there has been a positive change in him, and what Hughie has said to him about getting a life.
Well, you see that change straight away by the way he protects. Like, he's not going to tell Homelander where Ryan is at all.
Oh, yeah.
He's
not
really,
a chance.
really protective of him.
Yeah, no, so there's parts of me that I'm like, what exactly is Homelander planning here? What is he doing? There's a big spoiler for the comics here, but is this the start of like Homelander's coup? You know, the kind of the way he is leading up to Herogasm in the comics. When he starts planning things,
recruiting
other soups.
Yeah.
That's how I'll know if he tries to get one or two other soups on his side.
It depends
in the
on
same
what
way
he
he's
goes
talked to Billy.
Yeah.
If he has any conversations with soups like the conversations he just had with Billy, I think I will be like, I think he's going for that coup idea, like in the comics. But this could be the first seeds of that being sown, I think.
Yeah, well, he's already had a taste of it with Stormfront, and how, if it's done right, how he can get the public adoration. Yeah. Because I don't think it's so much about taking over a Vought as it is about his reinstatement as number one.
Oh yeah, Homelander just still wants.
He is not number two. He is number one.
Yeah, he wants the love of the people back, and he'll take his son back too if he can get it. But he's more concerned with the love of the people.
Yeah, love of the people.
He really is.
He's number one. He's not number two. He's number one.
The only thing that we haven't talked about then is the big reveal, not for us, but for Hughie at the end of the episode.
Oh God, poor Hughie.
Where he's noticed
all Hughie wanted was to not be covered in blood and guts.
Yeah, and he can't help but, follow his nose, and he sees this guy.
Yeah, this guy who's been showing up. He was at the red carpet event shouting Nadia. He showed up in the office shouting Nadia.
And then he shows up when they're leaving work.
Yeah, and he's like, my name is Tony. She'll know who I am. I'm her best friend. Happens to see him following her.
Thinks, I'd better go.
Hughie follows them.
Initially, I'd say to try and protect her, but as soon as she turns around and says, hey, Tony.
Yeah, we were like, this is either going to go really well or really, really bad.
Yeah, as she was following him, I was like, okay, so Hughie's either going to meet the guy and he's going to fill her in on some shit, or he's going to see Neuman kill this guy. Yeah. And the second he turned the corner and went down an alley after her, I was like, he's dead.
No, yeah.
He's dead.
Yeah.
And rightly so, yeah. They have a little bit of a chat, and he gives some tantalizing information about Red River. Which I have no idea what happens in episode 2 or 3, but going by the comics,
they're like a private security force facility type thing.
They are to Vought as the Secret Service is to the White House, basically.
But I've had an inkling that Vought may have had some sort of covert training facility where they have been training soups up to be like Vic, that are to be implants in politics, capital, moving people into positions of power. to assist their own game, and soups that may not necessarily have an incredibly obvious power, but are
like
something...
your mesmers
Yeah.
and your doppelgangers.
But those ones are the ones that they're utilising, like the mind readers and stuff like that. And they're using them to further their agenda in other arenas.
So if Sage Grove was their
experimentation
R&D section,
yeah.
is Red River their covert Black Ops section?
Yes.
You know, and
I'm hoping
that's kind of what it is in the comics, except Red River is mostly just, it's not superheroes, it's just all the people. And they're put, it's all the Vought loyal people that are put into, like, they're put on the Secret Service detail, they're put, you know, as bodyguards to governors and stuff like that, and they're mostly like Secret Service soldiers kind of things.
Yeah.
But in this, from the way they're talking, I think it'll be soups
like,
will be involved.
It's covert soup, like ones that
covert soup ops.
Yeah. Basically, they're groomed from a young age to infiltrate. You know, they're leaders in economy. They've probably been put through universities,
but it's
like these Ivy Leagues, to create these connections, things like that.
Definitely going to be a big thing, I think. Anyway. But we also got a little confirmation on how her powers seem to work. She has definitely needs to see.
Yeah. She's got some good aim. She's got some fucking death clock fucking violence going on.
Oh, yeah. But, if she's concentrating really hard, that's when the eyes go.
She can modulate her power really nicely, and he knows what her power is exactly, because when he flings her across into that dumpster, he goes straight for the eyes.
Oh, that hand exploding is just... Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Hand in a blender. It's like, have you ever seen, you know, those photos of kids, like, you know, the don't play with fireworks ones? That's what his hand looks like. And he borked it, that x-ray.
She's kind of only got herself to blame for the way it goes down and the fact that Hughie sees her, because if instead of giving him a big hug and starting to give him the nosebleed that way, if she had just popped his head straight away before hugging him,
I think
Hughie might not have seen it.
Trying to maybe not get covered in viscera.
Yeah, maybe. But she does, and Hughie sees it all, and then she makes a phone call to potentially Red River personnel.
Yeah.
Where she's all panicked and she's like, it's me, and then she kind of composes herself and says that she needs a clean-up team to where she is, and walks off. Yeah. And as she's walking off, or sorry, just before she makes the call, she explodes the whole body. Yeah. And Hughie gets rained in blood, because it's rain
in blood.
Well, yeah, but it's not a boys' season opener unless Hughie is covered in blood. And yeah, that's pretty much where the episode ends.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I was happy in the same way that Butcher reveals to the boys more or less straight away that Becca's still alive. Mm-hmm. I was glad that Hughie finds out about Vic at the end of the first episode, and we don't have any stupid forced drama and tension over some characters knowing some things and some not knowing it, because that always pisses me off. Yeah,
it's a bit stupid. Like, I think everything that they've literally gone for episode 1, it's here's what happened, here's all the shit, you know, this is all our key points for this season, this is all the storylines we're going to be following. Yeah, everybody's up to date on the events that happened in season 2.
Yeah, it is. It's mostly catch up, and then a couple of bits of new. Yeah.
There was nothing that was like that they didn't really address. That was left as a leftover from season 2, because I don't think, especially if they hadn't addressed the Neuman thing, that would have really pissed off a lot of people too. Yeah. So it looks like going forward, it's Soldier Boy and the Payback stuff. Mm. It's Starlight and the co-captain stuff, and it's Hughie having just discovered the Vic stuff, and then whatever Red River is going on, and whatever's going on with MM. There's a couple of other smaller threads been set up, but yeah, those are the kind of main bits. But woof, what an opener. Yeah. Well worth the wait. Cannot wait to finish this record and jump straight into episode 2. I kind of wish they hadn't used Uptown Girl, because being Irish, every time I hear Uptown Girl, it's Westlife. It's the Westlife
It's fucking Westlife, yeah. Unfortunately, I was the same.
And it was them doing the dance in the video, because no matter where you went at any point in time, like, that video was playing somewhere. Yeah. And it's just, I can't, no. Sex scene with Uptown Girl, no.
No, doesn't work. Doesn't work. Mm-mm. But yeah, no, that definitely a great opener. Can't wait to get watching on the second episode. Thank you guys for joining us. Welcome back to our season 3 records.
Glad to be back.
Yeah, oh definitely. You know, delighted. As much as happy as I was to sit down and watch the boys, I was equally happy to sit down and record and talk about it. We will be back to talk episode 2. Hopefully
shortly.
Yeah, within, I'd say, about 24 hours of whenever this episode goes up, you can expect our episode 2 as well. In the meantime, not much of a meantime, we have been recording podcasts about some of our favourite films over on Monorant at the Movies just to fill the gap basically until season 3 came out. So if you're stuck for something to do, you can head over and check that out. Or you can come and chat with us on Twitter at rantsmono or on Instagram at monorants_the_boys. Or you can send your own rants to monorantspodcast@gmail.com. And we will see you all tomorrow.
Toodaloo.
Bye-bye.
We are Science Fiction Remnant.
This is the Funny Science Fiction Podcast.
We are the Caribbean Science Fiction Network.
We are Monorants.
We are One Accord Level 2 Podcast.
This is Sci-Fi.